And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it is Sunday. And you know what that means? It's time for weekly purchases. That time of the week where we investigate what came through the door via DHL, Amazon, UPS, United States Postal Service, FedEx, and of course, that old outlaw, that cagey outlaw, Waylon Jennings. And a big week of weekly purchases. But of course, before we get into that big week, we got to do a little bit of housekeeping. It is a new month. It's the month of June, my birthday month. June 25th, mark your calendars. Oh, this worldwide celebration will happen on June 25th, I am sure. But June 25th is my birthday. But we're in the month of June, which means a new Patreon giveaway. Of course, Patreon every single month, a different giveaway. This month, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Walmart exclusive Young Bucks will be the giveaway to one lucky Patreon member. Of course, link in the description down below. Patreon members, you get early access to both YouTube channels. You also get a monthly Q&A, monthly giveaway right here. Pizza stuff, dog stuff, all the glamour shot images from all the videos ahead of time as well. And best of all, you do support the channel. So check out the old Patreon if you're after the old Young Bucks. And then we're not done. I do got my book, of course, a complete guide to the Jakks Class Superstars series by yours truly, just shy of 700 pages. I do have a couple extra hardcover editions. Got to get a deal out there. I actually got a little deal, found a little bit of a loophole, we'll call it. But I do got a couple of copies still left. $100 shipped for the hardcover. That's like $35 and change cheaper than Barnes & Noble. So if you're after one of these for Father's Day or something like that, hit me up on social media. You guys know where to find me. So there it is right there. I was on the TB Toycast this week. Check it out, old Brian over there. Wherever fine podcasts are found, I was on the TB Toycast, talking all things action figures and the channel here and the book. So there you go. Check that out if you did miss that. And then a few things going on, a ton of videos on the channel every single day, 4 videos. Got my cape on like a young James Brown. You know how we do it here. 2 different toy hunts this week, 2 different toy hunts, a Willie good toy hunt. Willie Nelson was in town for Memorial Day, so I went and saw Willie. Not quite the same show as it used to be, obviously. He's in his 90s now. He has to sit down. I do remember the heyday. Well, I guess I wasn't even around for the heyday of Willie Nelson, but I do remember the big minor league baseball stadium tour with Bob Dylan back in the day. I went to like 3 or 4 of those shows. I've seen him a few times over the years. I appreciate he's still doing his business. It's still worth seeing. It's just not going to be Willie of 10 years ago and definitely not 50 years ago, as you can imagine. But a good way to spend the Memorial Day holiday. So check out that video if you did miss that one. We did a top 5 superstar Billy Graham this week. We did the Monday Night Wars. We unboxed that whole line and did the Build-A-Figure Teddy Long. Check those out if you did miss them. Matt Cardona, Brian Myers, Super 7 Ultimates. We did those this week. Just a heck of a lot of videos on the channel, as we do have every single week. And a lot of stuff going on this week. I was at Willie Nelson, and apparently the boys are back in town like a young thin Lizzie over on the couch again today. We got Mark Summers. Yes, Double Dare's own Mark Summers on the couch today. And we got Todd McFarlane, staple of the couch, barefoot as usual. And we talked about it in the Toy News video yesterday. If you missed that Toy News, man, you missed an all-timer with Toy News. But those two last week, Memorial Day, didn't invite me, which is fine. It's fine. I'm not mad about it or anything. They were at old Hasselhoff's house. Old David Hasselhoff, that is. Good friend of the guys on the couch, apparently. Who knew? But they were over at Hasselhoff's house having a party, and it was a 70s themed party, and we did have some footage of that. And I'm absolutely speechless. I mean, you don't hassle the Hoff. We know that one. And was that in Germany by chance? Everybody knows David Hasselhoff, huge in Germany. Yeah, those guys have their head down in shame. They're a little bit embarrassed about that 70s party there. And I think there was a little bit of some of that 70s party stuff going on over on the couch, too. I'll get it. I'm going to get the test out later. We'll see what happens. Got to keep you two on the straight and narrow, especially you, Mark Summers. You're escorting all these kids that are young to be checking out these reviews. So we got to be careful with those two on the couch. Got to keep a close eye on them as we dive into the weekly purchases. But we're not done. Now we got to dive into it. It's time for Question of the Week. All right, time for Question of the Week. And of course, Question of the Week, you want to be it? Put it in the comments of this very video, and you too could be the question of the week next week. This week, an interesting one, of course, links into the brand new Jakks Classic Superstars book that I did write, available on Barnes & Noble, Amazon, or through me. I have some soft covers and hard covers. I can autograph if you want to. But it does say, how would you feel if Mattel brought back Classic Superstars? And that comes from Jerry ZC5QT. We'll just call you Jerry. But how would you feel if Mattel brought back Classic Superstars? Well, yin and yang on that. A lot of people say, Kyle, I'd be so excited. I'd be so pumped up. There's a little piece of me that says, leave the memories alone. Leave it where it was with just that selections, just those figures. It's a moment in time. So, at the other side of the spectrum there, though, it's like, hey, I love that line. It would be great to have that back. So, stuck in the middle, like a young Steelers wheel or something like that. What is that band called? I don't know. You know what I mean, though. But part of me says leave it alone. Part of me says, yeah, bring it back full force. I don't think Mattel would bring back the Classic Superstars line. And theoretically, I don't know who even owns the Classic Superstars name at this point. Does Jakks own that name? Does Jeremy Padawer have that somewhere in a trademark? Does Mattel have it? Now, I don't think Mattel probably does. I just have a feeling nobody's probably using that right now. Maybe I could file the trademark, come out with my own Classic Superstars line. Who knows? It could happen. Nah, probably not. But I did, of course, if you read this book, there is an interview I did with Jeremy Padawer about possibly the future of the Classic Superstars line. So the door might not be totally closed on that. It's definitely worth checking out in the interview in the book. But if Mattel did it, I might say, oh boy, my wallet, but then probably get pretty excited. Now, I would have a huge internal discussion in my brain. Do I want a mint on card set, a loose set, or both? I'd probably go Series 1 for both, see where it goes from there, but I don't really have room. I have one full room dedicated to Classic Superstars. I don't got room for a continuation of the line. The room is about, and I custom built this basement to fit my collection the way I wanted to, especially at the time. There's no more room for the Classic Superstars in there. So I'm not sure exactly what I did. So I'm definitely in the middle, but man, I'm here for it. Any more Legend figures we can get, I love the Legend figures. And when I say Legend figures, I'm not just saying, oh, ones when Kyle was a kid. No, give me 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Give me all different Legends. There's Legends in every single era. I want all of them. But boy, it would be tough financial decisions going on. It would break a lot of us, I think, physically, emotionally, and our wallets. But man, I think I'm going to say bring it back. Bring back the classics. Why not? Better bring them back than not, I guess. That's going to be my final judgment. So there it is. That's the question of the week. And once again, you want to be the question of the week? Put it in the comments of this very video. But now we got to get down to the real business here. We got to get down to the weekly purchases. All right, let's get down to business. Let's get down to the weekly purchases. And this week started off really quiet, and then at the end it ramped up a little bigger than I anticipated it to be. I have to imagine one of these weeks here, there's just going to be a very quiet weekly purchases. But this one, not as quiet. But let's dive in. Let's start it off. Hot off the truck, of course, Big Bad Toy Store. Use the link in the description down below. Support the channel. Get the collector airship vehicle, of course, the evil airship of Skeletor. We unboxed this on the channel already, but we did get a new vehicle here for the cartoon collection. Pretty cool to see that one there. So check that out if you did miss that review. And I guess we'll keep it in the He-Man family a little bit here. I did get the Turtles of Grayskull Mossman. Found him on a trip up to the old Mall of America. Shout out to the Mall of America. Check out that video on the channel. Patreon right now, but everywhere else sooner rather than later. But I did get the old Mossman this week, so I was happy to get that through the door, of course. And we weren't done. Mattel Creations coming in hot this week. Already unboxed it on the channel. I did get two copies of Extendor. One for my Mint on Card collection, one for my loose collection. Did get Extendar through the mail this week, so check out Extendar review. Extended things everywhere. We know how that goes. Got to give a special good brother shout out to good friend of the channel, David C. Anderson. He went down to Florida on a little Disney vacation, but while he was down there, he checked out a little Walmart and found something I was in desperate need of. Desperate need. He did find me a little bit of a Lord Grass. Now, this is a little beat up and banged up. That's all right. I'm opening this bad boy, but I got Lord Grass in my grass right there. And you can't have a grass without a terror. He found that as well. So special good brother shout out. Very happy. Got to find unpunched copies of these. Might be a little bit more challenging, but I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up, but I got those. Look for that review on the channel probably next week or so. And then right before I'm filming weekly purchases, what did I get in the mail? Mondo, and I'm already behind on my Mondos. I'm looking at my Mondo stack over there. I see Omega Red. I see two different Trap Jaws. I see a Man-at-Arms. I see, of course, Orko being added to the pile. So right there, Orko. I might try to get after this one. Everybody loves a magician, don't they? Yeah, sure they do. But Orko looking extra good in the Mondo line. 1/6 scale figure, as we do know. Orko coming in hot this week. I'm here for that. And then you guys saw my Willie Nelson toy hunt. I went to my local toy store. There's 3 of them right here locally, and they had a big 25% off sale going on. So I did jump in, picked up a Mythic Legion I was missing at a good deal. You can't beat 25% off, so I did pick him up. What's his name here? Zazer, man. And it's going to be tough. Once I start unboxing all these Legions over probably on Kyle Peterson 2.0, I'm going to sit there and I'm not going to know anybody's name. It's going to be just a fiasco beyond fiasco. So be prepared for that. Everybody corrected me in the comments. Oh, you said his name wrong. You should really read the story. I'm sure I'll get all that kind of stuff. I just don't have time to read that whole story. I just like the cool looking figures. I don't know if I need the whole story. I just want to know enough to be dangerous, and it's extremely hard to do. If you've collected that line, you probably know what I'm talking about. I did get something a little special sent to me this week. It's always nice when I get a free figure in the mail. I'm here for that. But I did get something sent to me free of charge this week. They said, Kyle, check this out. We want to know your thoughts on this one. So that's what I'll do. I will unbox this guy. It is part of the Fist line. I believe these are available at Big Bad Toy Store. I could be confused. But it is a Doom Trooper here. And I'm Doom Troopering like a young Zach Wilde in the Black Label Society. That's what I'm doing right here. But it is a Doom Trooper in scale with your Valaverse figures, your G.I. Joe Classified figures. Looking very interesting. I'm going to run it through its paces. I'm going to unbox this on the channel. See what all the fuss is about, of course. But a very interesting line. Almost looks like a guy that could fit in maybe in Cobra Law or something like that. Or maybe with a Dreadnought. Who knows? But I appreciate getting that in the mail. We'll take a look at that. But I wasn't done. I did get a few other things in the mail this week. Super 7 sent me something a little special here. A little Killer Bat. A little Captain Deadstar. Does he not look like Boba Fett? He's got that Boba Fett going on right there. Of course, these are reaction figures. And then one that chalks up the right tree for me, it is the Werewolf Biker. So special shout out to Super 7 for sending me these worst reaction figures. I'm not sure if I'm going to open up or leave them on card, but I really like this Werewolf Biker especially. Very cool. I dabble in some reactions that you guys have seen on the channel. But I also got these two sent along the way. Not sure what I think about these, but we'll unbox them on the channel. It is the Black Falcon. It is the Robot Reaper. I did unbox the original versions of these and actually really liked this one a whole lot. This one I was a little on the fence with, but now we get repaints of both of these, making the molds go around. We know how that goes. But 2 interesting figures we'll unbox on the channel as well. Stay tuned to that future unboxing, of course. And then you guys, if you're a long-time viewer of this weekly purchases here, do you remember before I turned it over to you, yes, you in the back, the question of the week, who did we do before? Well, it was our good friend, of course, Jonathan Frakes.
Ever gone mountain biking?
What do you want to be when you grow up?
What's the right tip? Have you called a plumber to your home lately? How superstitious are you?
How much money would it take to make you spend a night in a cemetery?
Would you display this as a trophy?
Do you have a pet? Do you have a sweet tooth? Do you believe in the power of a curse?
Have you had your hearing tested lately?
Planning a trip soon? Can you remember the tallest man you've ever seen?
Do you love to go a-wandering beneath the clear blue sky?
Have you noticed what big stars real estate agents have become?
Are you careful with your personal records? Does your computer ever seem to have a mind of its own? Have you ever visited a Chinatown section in a major city?
Have you ever visited a flea market? You ever visited a truck stop? Did you ever have a job as a waiter?
Have you noticed how many successful restaurants are theme-based these days?
And we had a heck of a lot of fun for like 6 months, 8 months. What is time? What is questions? Answering his questions every single week. Man, I wish I could pay him a cameo and say, okay, just read off these 1,000 questions, and I would do a different question every single week. That would be a fun one to do, but it never happened, or not going to happen. I don't think I'm going to pay his cameo money just to ask a bunch of questions, but it would be very fun. But I enjoyed the question of the week, so I'm a little sentimental about old Commander Riker, old Jonathan Frakes at the end of the day. So I did see this at that local toy show, or toy store, and it was 25% off. I got this for like $5. I said, you know what? I need Riker right up there with Rio and Todd McFarlane, just chilling, just hanging out. That's what I need going on. And I don't think, yeah, he doesn't talk anymore. So we'll see. Maybe, I don't know if I want to unbox this on the channel. Maybe Kyle Peterson 2.0, we can unbox it over there. We can have all kinds of fun with Rio, Todd, Jonathan Frakes. We could go just all in on that one. But I did pick this one up dirt cheap. I almost bought the Super 7 one, and I said, as funny of a joke as it is it a $55, $60 joke? I don't know if it's that good of a joke. But for, you know, $6, hey, I'll do that all day long. And twice on Sunday. There you go. But that's round number 1 of weekly purchases. Let me move stuff around. We'll be back. Round number 2. All right, we kick it off with the second round of weekly purchases and the final round of weekly purchases. But let's dive in here. Got to give a special shout out to DJC Collectibles. Ordered these bad boys here. Got them in the mail. Used discount code 8OFFDJC. Got Cable, the one I was missing from the Zabu wave. We'll have that whole wave probably up this week, at least on Patreon probably the next couple of days. But Cable, a must-have. Probably the most popular one of that Zabu wave, I would have to say. Target, big sale going on this week. Got this for $7.89 online. Ghostmaker from DC Future State. Don't know anything about it, Todd. I don't know. Todd doesn't know either. He says, I just make the toys. I don't necessarily read all the comics. Well, touche. But got Ghostmaker through the door. And then we're back to DJC Collectibles. Picked up the new Carnage over there. This is a Target exclusive, but internationally. And I guess Canada, is that internationally? It's still North America. Come on. There are brothers to the north. And sisters, too. But we got Carnage right here, so we'll unbox him on the channel. Stay tuned for that. Back to my local toy store for that big sale going on. I've been eyeing this one in the toy hunts, and I said, okay, 25% off. You got me. Ooh, you got me. It is old JCVD, Jean-Claude Van Damme himself. Got the figure here. So an interesting one. Like a young Rob Van Dam, you got the two chairs right there. You can do the Van Dam lift if you want to. But we got JCVD in the house there. Anybody ever seen JCVD, the movie? An amazing movie where Jean-Claude Van Damme plays himself, and he's like down on his luck a little bit and stuff, and he's at a bank, and all these bank robbers come to rob the bank, and he's there like waiting in line to get like cash a check or something, and everybody's like, help us, help us. He's like, no, I'm just an actor. I'm not real. And then it goes from there, and he takes over. So definitely worth a watch if you've never seen that one there. Got a hot deal at Entertainment Earth this week. They had this on sale. Of course, use discount code Kyle. I saved 10%. Got free shipping. Couldn't turn that down. Snake Eyes, Mezco. I'm dabbling in the Mezcos. I'm a little disappointed with myself as I did miss out on the Roadblock Mezco. So I'll track that down one of these days. Of course, we got Duke and Firefly around the corner. I got Storm Shadow on order. So we'll see what happens with these old Mezcos. But I did get old Snake Eyes. Can't wait to find Timber in that pack. You know me. I love a good wolf. I love a good wolf. And I also love a hog. Of course, a Harley, that is. I'm a Fat Bob guy, of course, myself. But how about this? We got a Hulk Hogan and his motorcycle. Hulkamania running wild against the Zodiac and WCW brother. As of right now, a Walmart Canadian exclusive. I'm not sure what's up with that. Will it hit the States eventually? We first saw this at San Diego Comic-Con last year. An interesting one. Got to give a shout out to DJC Collectibles. I said, is there any way you could go to Walmart? Could you lend me a hand and pick this up? And he went out there, picked this up for me, sent it my way. So really appreciate the extra help there from a little Canadian brother. But I got the Hulkster and his hog through the door this week. But we're not done. I did get from DJC Collectibles. I also, in my ordered enough stuff to make that shipping worthwhile. Got King Conan, the new Super 7 Ultimate. Bearded Arnold. Sign me up all day long. It's kind of like Bearded Rocky. You can't go wrong there. But Bearded Arnold looking very, very cool. And then you had to have the King's Throne, of course. King Conan's throne. The throne of Aquilonia, of course, as we know. So a little Super 7 extra and a little pricey on this one. I'm going to see what all the fuss is about. We'll review these two together, so stay tuned to the channel. Check out old King Conan, of course. And then we're not done. How about it's all coming up Captain Lou right now. Of course, Target, I don't know if as I'm filming this if it's still going on, but last week, $13.79 for these Legends. Finally pulled the trigger. I said, I'm going to get another Captain Lou. Going to wait for it to go on sale. $13.79 was the right price for me. And then as part of that trip to Mall of America, came across another Captain Lou right here. Might make a mishmash of these two together is what I might end up doing. So all things pointing to Captain Lou this week. Like a young Cyndi Lauper. Keeping on hammering out in the wrestling world. How about this one? Brand new, 1 of 5,000. Alex Reynolds from the Dark Order. I believe I ordered this from Rock and Roll Collectibles. They were in the shop app, and they were cheaper than anywhere else, and they were cheaper than Amazon, and they shipped in like 2 days. So I was pretty pleased with that. I definitely wanted this figure to complete my Dark Order. I really want to unbox it. Still on the fence on that one, so the verdict's still out if I'll unbox that. Hopefully I find another one at the store for 20 bucks. Rip that bad boy open. We'll see what happens in the future. Did finally get this. I called this out and mentioned this in a video a week ago, 2 weeks ago. What is time? I said, man, I'm still on the lookout for this one. I just want to pay $100. I was looking at the King County Toy Show for it, and everybody was like $140, $150. It has been dropping like a rock, and I finally pulled the trigger at $100. It is the Jamie Hayter Wembley exclusive. Of course, everybody loves Jamie Hayter, but a very cool packaging design on this one. Really like this. Really wanted it in my collection. And there it is. It is in my collection now. And then this week, I also got, we're going to collect forever, apparently, is what we're going to do. Kenny Omega Collect Forever. I really like these. These are really being slept on, I think, and they are a lot cooler in person than they look like. Yes, they're a little bit of a repaint, re-release, that kind of stuff, but the acrylic case is very nice. 1 of 1,000, display very nicely. Just an all-around good presentation. Not for everybody, though, as we have said, though, of course. And then the final one, we go back to Mondo. We go to a Werewolf by Night. I believe this was the C2E2 exclusive, wasn't it? I believe. I'm getting my Werewolf by Nights all mixed up. There's a brand new one this week that they put up there with like psychedelic colors, but really love a good werewolf. I wouldn't say Werewolf by Night's my favorite werewolf of all time, but this looks very, very cool, and I might put this in the living room. A little art piece in the living room is what I might do. Very, very light, I will say that. I've never unboxed one of these from Mondo, so we'll check that out as well. But that looks like everything. That's the end of the week here, and that's enough. That's enough for the weekly purchases this week. So there it is. But what did you pick up this week? Any good weekly purchases for you? Anything stand out? Let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget, if you want to be the question of the week for next week, don't forget to put your question down there. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. Of course, we got videos every single day on 2 YouTube channels. Make sure you subscribe to both of them. And check out the Patreon to support the channel, all the work that it takes for both these channels. You can also get early access to all the videos, glamour shots to all the videos, bonus monthly Q&As. Just did that the other day. Check that out for the Patreon members. All kinds of stuff on a Patreon every single day as well. You can also support channel ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget my book, The Complete Guide to the Jakks Class Superstar Series, hardcover on Barnes & Noble, softcover Amazon, or if you want soft or hard, you can get some from me. Hit me up in the messages, all that fun stuff. And then social media, SirPaul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So for another round of weekly purchases, you know what I'm doing. I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into another work week.